Zuzy Anna from SDG Center Unpad. Today we have a very distinguished guest, Dr. Burke, an associate professor in resource economics from Australian National University. Welcome to SDG Center.
Thank you very much, Zuzy Anna.
Many developing countries, including Indonesia actually, still have a lot of non-renewable resources or fossil energy reserves. So why do we have to switch to renewable energy?
There are three main reasons why renewable energy, and in particular solar and wind, are becoming more popular and why we would want to go to them. Mm-hmm. One is cheap energy. Solar and wind are becoming cheaper. Their costs have fallen a lot, and in some countries are now cheaper than coal. Number two is air pollution. The pollution in the air is really bad for our human health and also bad for the economy as well. So reducing human air pollution is a key reason. Local air pollution. Finally, climate change. The world is warming, and if we stick to coal and we use all of the coal that we have under the ground, then we're going to see lots of global warming. So there's a lot of reasons to make the switch away from coal and towards renewable clean energy.
Okay. So do you consider India a good example of renewable energy development for developing countries?
Yes, solar and wind are booming in India at the moment. Some of the world's biggest projects are going in India. And the cost of solar and wind projects has fallen a lot in India for a number of reasons. The government has set up a policy environment with the use of large-scale reverse auctions, and these have helped to push the price of projects down and down. So India really is having a lot of success in this area, although still most electricity is from coal. It's still early days,
okay.
But in 2017 about 5% of electricity was from wind and solar, and that number will be increasing into the future.
Okay. So what do you think the key to its success, and to what extent it is replicable to other countries, particularly Indonesia?
Indonesia has a lot of potential for solar, so definitely could be very successful in the solar sector. What has been a key to India's success? Number one is the government has given high priority to wind and solar. For example, India launched the National Solar Mission in 2010 and has very, very ambitious goals for solar and also for wind. Okay. Number two is they have used some pretty smart mechanisms that have encouraged the market to really invest in solar and wind. For solar, a key thing has been government's establishment of solar parks. These solar parks are set up by the government, and then investors in solar can then set their projects up in the parks. Okay. Also the use of reverse auctions and having quite a lot of competition in these reverse auctions. That has helped to reduce the price of solar projects. Now for wind, they use reverse auctions as well, and they're getting low prices for wind as well. This type of mechanism could be used in Indonesia and could lead to similar success here. Another example is India has coal tax. It's called coal cess in India. And this is one type of policy that could be used in Indonesia as well. Coal causes pollution, and it's fair, according to an economist, it's quite fair for coal to have a tax applied to it to make up for the costs it's causing to society through pollution. A coal tax also helps wind and solar. So there is quite a few things that one can learn from looking at India, and Indonesia could apply a couple of these ideas.
Okay. How important is the role of government, and what should they do?
Government is vital. This is a sector, the energy sector has the government involved throughout it. And a government that leads and has strong targets and really prioritises solar and wind is going to have much more success. And then the market can really operate. So really it works best when the government and the market are hand in hand. This is consistent with the idea of the entrepreneurial state by Mazzucato successful market development involves the government facilitating the market, and certainly for energy, some facilitation is important. But the key thing is to get the market involved. Private sector companies investing in solar and wind projects, and also at the small scale, private installers putting solar panels on roofs and consumers becoming prosumers. Do you know this term? This is a very interesting new term, prosumers. It's when households and others, they're not just consumers of electricity, but they're generators as well. So they generate the electricity from their solar panels and can feed that back into the grid. The government and the electricity utility, PLN, have a big role in facilitating this market, and the private sector has a big role in doing the job, installing the panels and the wind turbines and generating the electricity.
Okay. And what about other elements of the society other than government? We believe that they should be on board, right?
Yes, very much. Big companies have a role to play. Some big companies are currently pursuing the idea of going renewables in terms of their energy use. There is an initiative, RE100, where big companies are signing up to become 100% renewable energy in terms of their electricity consumption. This can really lead the demand side of the market for renewables. So the corporate sector definitely has a role in terms of corporate social responsibility, in ensuring that they are providing sustainable products and making a sustainable contribution. Individuals also are placed in an important position. If we have a rooftop, then why not think about some solar PV? The solar revolution can, in large part, happen from the bottom up, so the market just working and finding opportunities. These days, batteries, they're still expensive, but they're getting cheaper and better. And in the future, when we look forward to coming years and decades, batteries will be a big part of the solution. Consumers, if they have roof space or an apartment building that has a roof space, could follow some type of model where they install solar panels, maybe a battery, and also they make money from selling into the grid. So really everyone is involved in switching an energy mix and in pursuing new technologies. It works best when the government, the private sector, and NGOs and community groups and individuals as well are all involved in the process.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul, for joining this program. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That's it for today, and please follow our social media in Instagram and also in Facebook, and visit our website in www.sdgcenter.unpad.ac.id. See you.